What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to New York Liberty Fan TV. We are less than 60 days away from the regular season. Before I tap in and discuss any New York Liberty news and basketball, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit the like button, the follow button, or whatever, subscribe, share. I don't care what it is, but I need you to tap into New York Liberty Fan TV. I am Ken, NY Sports, a.k.a. Rem. Always in the building at Barclays Center. Always repping for the New York Liberty fans. We are repping for the Liberty every dribble of the way. So tune in and tap in if you are a WNBA fan, but more importantly, a New York Liberty fan. We're going to have the scoop and all the news and everything for you over here. Appreciate you for tapping in. Today's discussion, we got a couple topics to discuss. Well, obviously, we're going to discuss the regular season. We'll discuss the preseason schedule. We'll discuss training camp. And then we will discuss what our ladies have been up to in this offseason. They have been really busy, really active within the community, on the court and off the court as well. So you got to love it. And then we will discuss some of the free agency moves last year and this year's moves, because there's a lot of disconnect, I feel, between some of the fans and some of the moves that were made. And we definitely want to give you guys as much input as possible that we can, just help guide the way. One of our main things this season, and I'll bring this back up, one of our main goals this season, one of my main goals this season is to help WNBA fans better understand free agency and the salary cap, how the contracts work, because there's been a lot of vernacular, a lot of things being said this offseason that I don't think fans would say if they had the knowledge on how the salary cap works, how free agency works, and just the know-how. It's fairly new to everyone, so we definitely want to provide as much information as possible. It seems like there's a huge disconnect versus NBA fans versus WNBA fans. And that's not me saying that NBA fans are more knowledgeable. No, that is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's more information readily available to NBA fans. We don't have to go searching for contracts and stuff. We don't have to search to know what contract, the maximum, the player max, and everything like that, because that information is readily available for you. When we see player signings in the NBA, we see players get signed. We see the amount of years. We see the total. We don't see enough of that for the WNBA. And we just the money's starting to get better, but we'll speak a little bit more about that as we get deeper into the show. But as I said, this is New York Liberty Fan TV. I don't have the exact number, but I will tell you we are less than 60 days away from the regular season. Training camp actually starts on April 28th. Training camp will start on April 28th. The New York Liberty have announced 2 preseason games. The preseason schedule will start on May 7th. We have 2 preseason games, May 7th and May 9th. The May 7th game, we will be traveling to Chicago to see the new look Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, assistant coach Crystal Robinson. And then we will travel over to Connecticut to the Mohegan Sun Arena, where we will check out the Connecticut Sun and see their team, how they've been doing. So we got those 2 games to look forward to. And then the regular season starts on May 14th. We will be on the road in Washington, but everybody knows the big date, May 18th, where we host the Indiana Fever, where we do think it will be Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark coming to Barclays Center to see the New York Liberty in our very first home opener game, which happens to be one of the theme games this season. Before I get deeper and talk about the nit-grit of the basketball, we got to talk about the theme games this season, because the New York Liberty announced last week, I believe it was last Thursday, 10 theme games for this upcoming regular season. And if you've been to the Barclays Center, you know exactly how it gets over there. The New York Liberty always hold it down. We always hold it down. We have special events. And the thing about New York Liberty basketball, about coming to a Liberty game, is you can come there with, no expectation to watch basketball. I'm telling you, you can go there with no expectation to watch basketball. You are going to leave with one of the best fan experiences ever. I was so happy a couple of weeks ago on First Take to listen to JJ Redick speak about the fan experience at Barclays Center when asked about it. And he, unmatched. It's unmatched. Everything he said was on point. And you just got to be there. As a fan, you got to be there. You got to pull up. Again, you don't have to be a basketball fan to go to a New York Liberty game. I promise you, they have everything that is needed for you to leave with one of the best experiences ever. Last year, I was blessed enough to take my daughter to the home opener. I hope I can take her to the home opener this year if I'm not working. But one of the best experiences, and she still talks about it till this day. She's still talking about defense and Ellie, the elephants, and all of that stuff. So it's a great experience, not only just for yourself, for your family, for the kids. Bring them to a Liberty game. You will not regret it. I guarantee that. I guarantee that you will have the time of your life at a Liberty game. But yeah, let's discuss the 10 theme nights real quick, because these are pretty cool. Each some of these nights are returning nights. Some of these theme nights are returning. So we'll start off with the home opener. As I said, May 18th is the home opener, and that will be against Indiana. Then we have May 23rd, Asian American and Pacific Islanders night. I believe that is the 3rd annual. That will be on May 23rd. Then moving up to June. June is a nice little month, because we have 3 theme games that month. June 9th is Big Ellie's birthday. So you know how Ellie gets down. Ellie's been super active this offseason too. Shout out to Ellie, because Ellie was the first WNBA mascot introduced to the NBA. I wrote an article on that. At www.NYLFTV.com. You can check that out. But Ellie being the first mascot introduced to the NBA. And as I've been saying, Ellie is probably the best mascot in all of sports. No disrespect to anyone, but Ellie's just that damn talented. So we are looking forward to Ellie's birthday. Then June 22nd, we have Pride. That's the 10th annual. That's one of the longest lasting events, the 10th annual Pride Night. Then on June 30th, Sunday, we have the Sneakerhead Night. Sneakerhead Night, that would be dope. I remember last year's event. It was a lot going on last year. We had art there. They were artists in the building. They had a nice event for the fans, season ticket holders. Super dope. Then in July, we obviously will have a break, because we do have to do the Olympic break. We have the All-Star break and everything like that. So July, there will be no theme games, hardly any basketball going on. But in August, we bring it right back, and we come right back with women's empowerment on August 20th. Then on August 24th, we got Unity, the Unity game. I know you see the Unity poster in the back. I believe we had MC Light last year for the Unity game, which was dope. And then September, to close it out, three more theme games to close it out. In September, we have West Indian Night on September 5th. That was a really good one last year. I think this will be our 2nd annual, especially having someone like JJ on the team. The West Indian vibes, the culture. It's on Labor Day weekend, September. Labor Day's the first week of September. So this all coincides. So you'll see a nice culture shift coming in September. Then September 15th, we got Noche Latina. And then on September 19th, we have Fan Appreciation. Fan Appreciation is always my favorite. It's the last day of the game. We get all the fans. You get the autographs. You get to see the players. It's really intimate. It's really personal. But it's just how Barclays do. It's just how the New York Liberty does. So shout out to the New York Liberty and everything that they do. These theme games are going to be super dope. If you haven't, go get your tickets on Ticketmaster. They are ready. They're available for you. Go check it out. Next, I must speak. I did speak about women's empowerment. That was one of the theme games, but we have to speak about Women's Impact Night last week. The Brooklyn Nets and the New York Liberty collab for Women's Impact Night, and it was nice to see. Man, there was a lot of women in attendance, as it should be. The Nets players showing love to the Liberty. You've seen a bunch of them wearing the Sabrinas. I love to see the seafoam colors on the Nets players. Amazing experience, and just like to see the ladies getting their well-deserved flowers, as you would say, just giving them their flowers and having them in attendance. But you can check out the Instagram to see the highlights of Women's Impact Night. And also the Long Island Nets also had Women's Impact Night as well. and they had Courtney Vandersloot in the building as well for that. And then if you check out on Instagram, you will see our Big Ellie and the Long Island Nets mascot Fly with Dell, Fly with Dale, do their little IG TikTok with that Money Long song, Twin, Where Have You Been? Gotta love it. I love to see them doing the challenges. Was super dope. But Women's Impact Night was a hell of a crowd. You seen some of the top ladies in media in attendance being celebrated. You had Courtney Vandersloot and Brianna Stewart in attendance, who, two of our stars who have been very busy this offseason. So we definitely want to shout out those two and talk about Women's Impact Night and everything that they have done. But before I get deeper into anything else, we got to talk about our squad. We got to talk about the ladies around, because I have a real serious topic that I want to close this out with. I feel like I'm rushing a little bit just to get to this topic, because it's such a dear topic to my heart. It's such a dear topic to my heart, and I want to get this right. I want to speak about this and just get everything out there. But speaking of the team, let's speak of the team and what everybody's doing. First of all, congratulations to JJ. We have to shout out JJ. She made the All-Star team in China, and her team is getting ready for the playoffs. So shout out JJ. We know how you get down. Obviously, deservedly so for your All-Star, and we know that you will be back in the All-Star in the WNBA this year too, especially coming in to a healthy season. We are looking forward to you, JJ. Our other ladies, we have to speak about our other ladies because they are killing the Euro game. They're killing overseas. We got our Leonie Fibich, we got Ivana Jokic, we have Morgan Green, we have KB, we have so much going on. Niara Sabali, we have so much going on. But real quick, I want to shout out the Euro Final Four. The Euro Final Four starts on April 12th. And two of our players will be in the Euro Final Four. We have Villeneuve, who has Kennedy Burke. And then we have GS Praha. USK Praha, who has an Niara Sabali. And they will be seeing each other on April 12th. So that should be a dope matchup. To know that we have ladies who are battling professionally for something bigger than themselves to win, and we know we're going to need all of that this season. So I love the fact that we have two players who will probably be role players on this team, playing high impact basketball at this time of the year, getting ready before a couple weeks before training camp, just to get ready for what is their Final Four. So best of luck to them ladies, best of luck to Kennedy Burke, and best of luck to Niara Sabali. We will be rooting for you, and hopefully we can tune in if those games are visible to us. Next, I have to shout out Courtney Vandersloot and the New Era Cap crew for what they dropped the other day. First of all, Courtney Vandersloot dropped a short film with New Era a couple of weeks ago. And it was announced that she was going to be dropping these hats. And, I was cool. I was excited for them. But when I seen the hats, I was like, oh, my. This is a whole new level. This is a whole new level. I was so excited to see them. They came out in 4 styles, and they were absolutely all fire. They had the 940 snapback, the 950 snapback. The 940 was the all black with Seafoam Liberty letters. They had the purple with the green Liberty letters. They also had the camel snapback, and then they had the all green. I'm telling y'all, those hats are super fire. New Era, you guys need to let us know when the restock is coming out, because 3 out of the 4 colors are already sold out. It hasn't been a full week yet, and 3 out of those 4 colors are already sold out. Again, these hats are super fire. You got to check these out. But Courtney Vandersloot, good job. This was inspired not only by the Liberty, but also her college, and just her and where she's from. So I love the color. I love the color palette. Love the styles, especially the purple one and the black one. Those were the first 2 to sell out. So you guys are doing a great job, New Era. Salute. Congratulations on the drop. Hoping to see more. This is super dope. Keep doing your thing. Congratulations to Sabrina. I know this is a little bit late. Obviously, she just got married. I'm assuming she's still on the honeymoon phase because I haven't seen a post from Sabrina at all. I haven't seen anything basketball related from Sabrina at all after Team USA. She has had a busy off season, not only with Team USA, but the 3-point contest, the Sabrina Ionescu shoes, and how great they're doing. So shout out to her and her husband. Sabrina Ionescu, definitely excited to see what she has to bring to the table this season, especially when we get to see her up against CC in that home opener. So I'm looking forward to that. Benijah Laney, I haven't seen or heard much from Benijah Laney after the USA. Obviously I got a chance to interview her during the USA camp, but she didn't make the team, and that's okay. We know prior to that, Benijah has been doing phenomenal work, whether if it was going back to Rutgers in the offseason. She's just doing her thing. So she's not taking no time off. So shout out to the ambidextrous queen, Benijah Laney. We are looking forward to seeing you back on the court this offseason. I need to speak about Stewie. I got to speak about the MVP. I have to speak about the MVP and just kind of break down a timeline of what Breanna Stewart has been up to this past year. She's active, guys. She's super active. And when I say active, I'm not saying active on social media. She's active in the community. She's hella active in the community. And I'm asking myself, Stewie, where do you find the time? Where do you find the time? Because not only being an MVP, one of the best players to ever touch a basketball, and have all of these things on your plate, she's also a parent of two. She's a parent and she's a partner. So there's a lot of work that goes into that. But I would love to know how Stewie, how are you keeping this up? And give her a pat. Just give her, just shout out Stewie for all the work that she's been doing. But I'm gonna reverse it back to last year. I'll start it off with last year after our finals loss, because it's so easy to kind of give up after a loss, to kind of hide, to not be seen, to just get in the lab and just do your own thing. But Stewie has been in the forefront, in the face of everything. Okay, so this is why I love this MVP for this city, because of the stuff that Breanna Stewart does. SYC for MVP. It's not something that just rhymes. This is real deal. And let me tell you why she's just an overall MVP. Let's just talk about Breanna Stewart's year real quick. And this is all we know. This is not everything that we know. This is just the stuff that we see, but not everything that we know, because it takes a lot to be one of the best basketball players and also a parent and partner at the same time. So going back to November, the Turkey Drive in Brooklyn back in November for Thanksgiving. Then in December, Hot Ones with Ariel Chambers. They had that interview, which was dope. Obviously, throughout all of this, she's still putting in work at Summit, New York. Whether if it's with Chris Brickley or Jason Sudeikis, she's putting in work, but she's at the Summit. And then we go into Shattered Glass in January, the Shattered Glass documentary. We just found out about it in January, but think about all the time and the effort it took into shooting that documentary, then having an event for it, and promoting that. So shout out to them for the Shattered Glass in January. Then in February, Team USA, guys. Team USA, you guys know I interviewed her briefly at the Team USA Media Day. And also, not to mention, going on the road, and that game winner on game one, being one of the best players on Team USA, kind of just, leaving her stamp and her impact. And then pulls back up to NYC. She does the Kelly Clarkson show. The Stewie Mia Moores drop on Valentine's Day. And then February 26th, casual. I'm back, Liberty fans. February 26th, she says I'm back. We knew she'll be back, knowing that Jonathan Kolb court her. But she comes in and I'm back. And what is she doing? She's putting in work in the gym with Chris Brickley, as she does, and doing. And then she joined Kia Clark, as well as Clara Wu-Tsai on Fox 5 My 9 to introduce, to celebrate and to announce the fact that the New York Liberty have partnered with My 9 and Fox 5 on a TV deal where all Liberty games will be. Stewie has had a busy offseason. And here's why I ended off with Stewie is the Stewie 30 camp sponsored by Puma Hoops. This is huge. First of all, this was big because she invited 30 of the best sophomores and juniors from around the world, and they get to come to Brooklyn to train and learn from a pro. They all had custom Stewies. They had the gear. They had the hoodies. They had their own custom Stewie lockers. They learned about growing their brand. There was actual time for them to learn about growing their brand. They all had a chance to pitch sneaker ideas to Stewie. I think that's super cool. That's super cool, super huge to have that experience, especially females. Playing high school basketball. We know the statistics with females in sports and quitting, and just because they don't have the correct support that they need. And this right here is the support that they need. This is the first of its kind, this camp in Brooklyn by Stewie. And she's already looking forward for Stewie V2 because this is big. I just want to say shout out to all those girls to take that in, to get the opportunity to learn from a pro, to do the work that a pro's been doing as a high schooler, to learn about growing your brand. This is huge. A huge impact that Breanna Stewart is having on the community and girls basketball. So I love to see it. I want to see it continue to do these camps. If you or anybody knows more about the Stewie V2 camps, please let me know because I would love to write a full story, learn more about this, highlight some of the players, and to just talk about it because this is, like I said, this is super dope. And then you've seen a different side of Stewie. She's on all of these TikToks, doing all of these dances and stuff. Stewie can't dance really. She's not doing the dances, but Stewie's in the mix. She's in the videos, and I love to see it, man. I love to see the support that she is giving these young and up-and-coming stars of the women's basketball game. So clap it up for Stewie, man. Clap it up for Stewie. It has been a busy offseason to say the least. The next topic I want to talk to y'all about actually is a little bit of Liberty and a little bit of WNBA because it was announced the WNBA is considering stepping out of their current deal with ESPN and ABC because they don't feel like they're getting the proper coverage. And we can all agree with that as WNBA fans, as basketball fans. We can all agree that the ESPNs, the ABCs, the Turners, all of those networks do not give the WNBA the coverage that they deserve. So am I all in with them getting up out of their deal and figuring something out? They should do that ASAP. You know why? Do that before Caitlin Clark comes here. Do that before Cameron Brink comes here. Do that before Aaliyah Edwards comes here. Do that before the Hannah Hildagos, the Malaysia Fulwileys, the Juju Watkins get here because you want to make sure you get all of that in order because last year it was so tough to watch WNBA basketball. Downloading the WNBA app is affordable, it's cheap, it's easy. But as a New Yorker, when I want to watch a Liberty game, I cannot watch it on the WNBA app because of their deal that they had with the Yes Network. I don't know how it's going to work this year now that the Liberty have a deal with My 9 and Fox 5, the first of its kind. But it was so difficult to watch games sometimes. So I feel good knowing that I don't have to deal with that anymore, knowing that my team went ahead and did something historic and made a deal with Fox 5 and My 9 so that we can get Liberty basketball on the dime every time. So that's amazing. And I feel like the New York Liberty had a lot to do with this conversation. A lot to do with this conversation for us to even start up and get here for anyone to be like, yo, we are considering renegotiating this deal or stepping out or just finding business elsewhere. So I love to see it. I would love to see more WNBA teams get local broadcast deals so we can get the locals to watch the game more, but also, to just do better with the coverage. ESPN has to do better with coverage. NBA TV has to do better with coverage. We need more coverage and programs that are, going to promote the WNBA as it should be promoted. So, tell me your thoughts on that. Tell me how y'all feel. But I really think it would be a great idea for these, for the WNBA to break away from their current TV deals and to just put something together that will be beneficial to not only growing the game, but beneficial to the players as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a brief intermission, a brief break, a really brief break. I'm sorry about the stuttering, but I'm gonna close this episode out, and we're gonna talk about free agency. We're gonna talk about some of the commentary that I've been seeing. We're gonna talk about the trades, the Rebekah Gardner trade. We're gonna just talk a little bit about free agency. Tap in with me. You already know it's your boy Rem. Back to discuss. First of all, NYLFTV is brought to you by Bucket for Bucket Podcast and Freedom Over Fear. Today and every day, we wish you freedom over fear. If there's anything in life holding you back from your life purpose, may you be free of that. Now back to it. NYLFTV, we are back, and we are here to discuss some free agency. We are here to discuss Rebekah Gardner. So, I didn't get a chance to post much on this because there's been a lot going on since that last week. I was away, but on my way to the Poconos last week, the New York Liberty made a move in which they traded for Rebekah Gardner. They traded 2 second-round picks and got Rebekah Gardner. Before I go any further, I just want to say Rebekah Gardner, prior to her injury, was highly coveted by not one, not two, but almost all WNBA teams because they would love to have a player like Rebekah Gardner. The Chicago Sky are clearly going in a different direction. You could see some of the trades and the moves that they made this offseason. So they're clearly going in a different direction, which led to a lot of teams calling up Chicago to see what's up with Rebekah Gardner. And that's true. Rebekah Gardner is a solid player and, high energy and somebody that you would want to be a part of a championship organization. Now, going to her injury, Rebekah Gardner injures herself overseas, playing overseas, and tears her Achilles. So now she's out. She's out of the mix. I'm assuming not many teams want to be a part of that because obviously an Achilles is a serious injury. But in comes the New York Liberty. And they want to know what's up with Rebekah Gardner because we still ain't, every other team might be okay with, just closing the door on this, but we're not okay with that. We have everything it takes to facilitate a smooth rehabilitation and get Rebekah Gardner going. Because again, Rebekah Gardner is an asset. She's a great asset that is highly coveted, not just because they like her name, is because of what she delivers and what she brings to the table on the basketball court. Now, the New York Liberty, I'm going to start this off by saying New York City versus all of these cities have the best surgeons, the best medicines, the best hospitals. HSS is up here, guys. Of all athletes in all sports, whether if it be professional men's basketball, women's basketball, football, whatever it is, highly likely that athletes, when they are going through a major injury, it's highly likely that they will end up in the city at some point during this process, whether if it's for the surgery, for the therapy, the recovery, whatever the situation is. The fact that Rebekah Gardner is out here in New York City and being treated by the best doctors and medical staff should give Liberty fans, and as well as Rebekah Gardner, the confidence to know that she will be back. She will be fully back and fully healthy. And they will do everything in their power to make sure that they're doing right by her. So I loved every single last move. I love the move, the fact that it was for 2 second-rounders. We're a contender, guys. There's no contending team that is really holding on to second-rounders and thinking that this will be life-changing for them or franchise-changing. It's not going to work out like that. It's really not going to work out like that. But we got Rebekah Gardner for next to nothing. Now, everybody will complain about the fact that Rebekah Gardner is injured this season. However, the fact that she's injured still leaves an open roster spot. It leaves an open roster spot, guys. So, although we did trade for an injured player, we have 11 players on our roster guaranteed, and we do have an open roster spot. Now, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for what I'm going to tell you. Now, because of that trade, like I said, I like to think of the future. I like to look ahead and, just know that my teams are doing everything in their ability to do right by the organization, not just for 1 year, but for years to come. Years to come, guys. So on that on that post on Instagram that they announced that the New York Liberty have traded for Rebekah Gardner, I decided to comment, and I go, wow, Jonathan Cobb, our GM, has absolutely been cooking. And I put up a chef emoji because let him cook. Let him cook. Now, I did get some feedback from some fans. I will post these comments up for you. I will block out their names, but I will post up the comments that I received from some fans that, kind of led me to this conversation that we're having right here because, one, I don't usually respond to people or go back and forth, and this was all in good faith. There was nothing hostile or anything about this. This was all in good faith, but I had to respond because there was some commentary that I just wasn't, I didn't understand. So again, I'm gonna read this to you. My comment was that Jonathan Cobb has been absolutely cooking these past 2 off seasons. Someone responds to me and goes, "How can you be so sure about that, especially when Gardner is dealing with an injury that will take a year to heal?" And my comment back was, sure about what? Because it's very important that we understand what we're talking about before we make any type of commentary or anything. Because my comment was that Jonathan Cobb has actually been cooking these past 2 seasons, which he has. And I go, sure about what? My statement is that Cobb is cooking these past 2 off seasons. I'm very sure of that. The first GM ever to acquire a Big 3, all-star Big 3 in free agency in WNBA history. He's the reigning executive of the year. He delivered a finals appearance this season. The free agency additions that he had last season, getting the core back this season, and the additions that he made this season are huge. They might not physically help us this year with Rebekah Gardner, but it will help us out in the next. And then I also say, please refer to the quote if you swipe. This team is fully aware of her injury, and they believe that they will help her on her recovery. I believe that too. Building a championship team and getting them to stay contenders is not done in 1 season. Let him cook. Now, when I comfortably say we have the best team to assist with that, is because we are in New York City. HSS is right there. Like, we have all the pieces, and not to mention the New York Liberty, although she's not on the team anymore, the New York Liberty helped Jocelyn Willoughby get back from an Achilles injury. Our MVP, we did not necessarily help her, but we are also doing everything in our ability to keep her healthy and make sure that we are maximizing everything of all of the work that has been already done. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind when we speak about that. Jonathan Cobb is absolutely cooking, and those are facts. Those are facts. And when I tell you about those facts of executive of the year, of the 3 all-stars coming into free agency, like, that information is ready and it's there. We just made the WNBA finals. After how long, guys? So, you know, it's when we see this type of commentary, it's a little bit disappointing that we don't have, you know, a little bit more positivity, especially after the year that we've had this year. But here's where everything took a twist. Someone else jumped into the comments, and this is where things took a turning point for me. This is where I was extremely disappointed. You know, just hearing this kind of commentary come from Liberty fans, because we've already gone through so much and we are on such a positive trajectory with not only as a team, but where the WNBA is going. And the New York Liberty are literally at the heart of that. We're at the heart of the growth of the W. So someone else comes in, and I'll also keep this name anonymous. I will block them out, but I'll also share this message with you. And they go, really? All of last season's acquisitions fell into Cobb's lap. JJ wanted to sign with the Mystics, but the Mystics couldn't accommodate the trade. So she, along with Stewie and Sloot, decided to play together and join the Liberty. Cobb is the same GM who used the 5th pick in the draft to select an injured Sabali. Cobb has done absolutely nothing to rectify the team's biggest weaknesses, perimeter defense. Sab and Sloot are the worst defensive backcourt in the league. It was the only thing he needed to fix during the offseason, and he has not done anything to fix it. Now he trades 2 draft picks for a player who is injured and won't play until 2025. If Cobb is cooking, it's with gasoline and a match. Now, my statement to that is you are so far removed from knowledge on what is going on in the game. So let's dissect this. So this person came into the commentary. They provided no facts or anything. They provided no facts. They just came here with hearsay to say that these moves, to say 3 epic moves, 3 all-stars fell into the New York Liberty's lap. That right there was a major red flag because, one, it's a huge discredit to the organization, the front office, and everything that they have done. The sweat and the tears just to get those 3 all-stars. Not 1, not 2, but 3 all-stars over. That was super disappointing. A reason for this, and I'm going to start by reason 1 with discrediting this notion, this poor notion. I'm going to start by telling you, Jonquel Jones committed and signed to the New York Liberty before Breanna Stewart and Courtney Vandersloot. So how is it that the Washington Mystics and Jonquel Jones wanted? I'm so confused because why would the Mystics not do anything to kind of like facilitate actually bringing Jonquel Jones over? Do you not remember Jonquel Jones standing in front of Barclays Center with her jersey? She committed before knowing Stewie and Sloot would be here. It's super important to highlight that. I was on X, Twitter at the time, every day stalking Stewie, and I mean that as a joke, but I was on her page every day. You see Stewie talking about the charter flights, all of the growth for the WNBA and everything. Stewie's in Istanbul. Stewie's all over the world. Our front office was on it. While they are working on getting JJ in here, they are working seamlessly to get Breanna Stewart and Courtney Vandersloot in a New York Liberty uniform. So for anyone to come in the commentary and say anything crazy like that, fell in their lap. I don't know any moves in basketball where no work is done and you get 3 elite all-stars to just fall in your lap. It does not work like that. That is a super discredit, a major discredit to the organization. It was laughable to hear this commentary. Picking up a 5th pick, picking up Nyara Sabali with the 5th pick in the draft, an injured Sabali. Guys, here's the deal. The team built itself to be a contender. So when you make moves like that, you're not just making a move for this season. You're making moves for your long progression, for the long run. Need I remind you, at the start of this episode, I highlighted Nyara Sabally and her team being in the Final Four in the Euro Cup. You can readily check her stats and see that she is healthy this season. She's coming back. The New York Liberty have also helped her while she was under injury, and they are nursing her back. And this season, she's fully healthy. She'll probably take Big Mama's role. She'll probably take Big Mama's role, maybe 15 to 20 minutes a game. But that was a good pick, and the jury's still out, yeah, but we have to just I hate bringing up this name because it's like, we get upset with people for making picks in the draft, right? So I'm going to transition to a different sport, and we'll talk about the NBA real quick. And I don't like bringing this name up when speaking women's basketball, but Michael Porter Jr., for instance, who was drafted by the Denver Nuggets with a lottery pick. Drafted by the Denver Nuggets, bad back. They had to put in the work and the time and the effort to get this man back to where he is. And fast forward to today, you see the impact he has on the game. He's an NBA champion, also had impact on those teams to bring them to the playoffs. Injuries happen. Injuries happen in basketball. Injuries happen in basketball. So the fact of drafting an injured player, you're going to have to make a better argument than that. You're going to have to make a better argument than that. That was a horrible argument because of the fact you have to be that removed from basketball to realize players get healthy again. Players do get healthy again, okay? So that one was laughable. And then the next comment that was also super laughable because this one is kind of like, yo, all right, let's get it here. Talking about trading 2 second rounders for a Rebekah Gardner, who was highly coveted in this league. May I remind you guys of what's going to happen next season? I just want to remind you guys really quickly of what's going to happen next season. Next year is 2025, correct? Who is coming to the WNBA in 2025? Got it. Golden State, correct? Golden State's coming. What happens when a new team comes? An expansion draft happens, correct? We are going to lose a player off of the New York Liberty due to an expansion draft. Now, let's say for whatever reason, Rebekah Gardner doesn't play on this roster at all. There's a chance she might not even play on this because we're thinking about the expansion draft now. Let's think about this. When Golden State has an opportunity to select players, the Liberty will have a certain amount of players that are untouchables. The rest will be touchables. They will be able to go into our roster and take any player that they want. They might take one of your fan favorites, or they might take Rebekah Gardner. We don't know, guys. We don't know. But with that said, if they do take somebody from our current roster, we know that we have a Rebekah Gardner who is absolutely good, a great veteran who can fill in that role. And if we lose Rebekah Gardner, it's okay. We haven't lost any of the pieces that we need to keep this going. So I think you guys have to like really sit down and think about some of this stuff before some of the commentary is coming out. Some of this commentary is a little bit far-fetched. It's a little bit far-fetched. And let's keep in mind that we do have an open roster spot. I came back to that person and I told them, I pretty much respectfully said, I wasn't in that room, but I won't discredit the work that the front office has done. And I asked them to provide me facts. I asked this person to provide facts. And you know what they provided me? They said, LOL, where have you been? This was talked about ad nauseum when all 3 players were acquired by the Liberty. Since you missed it, Google their introductory press conferences. Each player goes into how they all decided to join forces, become teammates. It's common knowledge, so no speculation on part. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist. I watched that championship series against the Aces. I witnessed Sab and Sloot getting beat over and over by Chelsea, Kelsey, and Jackie countless times. I watched Laney trying to guard, switch off, and guard whoever Sloot or Sab had lost defensively. So yeah, it's not wrong to think Cobb would make some adjustments like improve perimeter defense. Where has this person been? Where has this person been? Kennedy Burke, Leone Fibich, Morgan Green, to name a few. And the biggest thing that was just like so annoying at nauseum, annoyed at nauseum, was the fact that this person spoke about the New York Liberty's perimeter defense. Does anybody care to tell me where the New York Liberty were defensively last year? I'll let you guys say it. Where were the New York Liberty defensively last year? Top team defensively. Interior on the perimeter. We one of the top teams. The only time we had issues on the perimeter were in the finals. We had a few in the playoffs, but we buckled them up. We buckled those issues up. Coaching did a great job making adjustments. But the finals, listen to the names that you named, a person. Listen to the names that you named. You just said Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, and who was the third name? I'm sorry. Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, and Chelsea Gray. Chelsea, Kelsey, and Jackie. Are you kidding me? Have you seen them play? Do you know that those three players are prolific? They are superstars. They're not all stars. Those are three prolific superstars. So, yeah, they might struggle a little bit with a Chelsea Gray, with a Jackie Young, with a Kelsey Plum, who was the college's leading scorer before Caitlin Clark took that over recently. Let's be serious, guys. Let's be serious. Let's not forget all of the work that the New York Liberty literally did throughout that whole season. Top defensive team. And then to say that the team did nothing in the offseason to like kind of get at perimeter, that's laughable. That's asinine. You cannot say something like that and not provide actual factual. Like, it doesn't make sense. The Kennedy Burke signing was such a big signing because it was like also getting Kennedy Burke to trust the WNBA again. They got Kennedy Burke for the minimum, for that 76, for the minimum. They got her to come here and trust that she will be a part of this team to play a major role as she's doing on the Euro squad, playing a major role for the Euro team. We love that move. We love that move. Then you look at somebody like Leone Fibich. People asking, why does the New York Liberty constantly keep going after these overseas and so and so? The overseas game versus the U.S. game are two completely different beasts. I am all in for taking players who have taken the time to play professionally overseas in some of the harshest environments. There's a story in Kennedy Burke's bio that also speaks about that. Leone Fibich is going through that. Jokic, who the New York Liberty discovered, have gone through that. These are tough conditions to play in. So I would always be in for taking a professional, knowing that they know the game, they know how to play the game, and that they're coming into environments that they can play because they've been in worse environments. So I just wanna highlight that. I want to highlight that and discuss those moves because, again, this person provided so much commentary. They provided so much commentary. So yeah, I'll give Cobb credit for not being his usual incompetent self and muck up the gift that was given to him and the New York Liberty. However, I will not praise him drafting an injured Sabali and the 2 second rounders on an injured player. Come on. That's the disconnect of not knowing anything. That's the disconnect of not knowing the actual information. That's all that is. And that's not me disrespecting anyone. That's the fact. This person literally provided no fact. They seemed like they were in their feelings. They called somebody incompetent. They called it seemed like it was a little bit personal, and I don't know why. That's up for them to deal with. That's up for them to decide and figure out. But again, you need to bring facts. You need to bring facts. Nothing was spoken about ad nauseum about JJ wanting to sign with Washington or Sloot or Breonna Stewart. What JJ wants ad nauseum is a title. JJ wants a title ad nauseum. Washington is nowhere next to providing her that. If JJ went to Washington alone, even with the squad that they had last year, that was nowhere next to a contender to bring her to a chip that New York was. Nowhere next to it. Even without the knowledge of Breonna Stewart and Sloot coming over here, she was willing to play with Sabrina and Benijah Laney, which is a much better situation than what Washington had to offer last year. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just the truth. It's the facts. So I think before we come up with some of the commentary that we come up, the detrimental commentary that we come up, we need to understand the facts. We have to do our research and not just say outlandish stuff out of nowhere, because we can't do that. We can't do that. It's disrespect to the team. It's detrimental, and you don't want to get this type of commentary out to people, because sometimes people believe what they see online, and that's something we don't want people believing, because it's absolutely false. It's wrong. It's wrong. We need to give the credit where credit is due, and that would go to Jonathan Cobb, Ohema, the assistant GM, and the New York Liberty staff for everything that they have done ad nauseum to get these players on this team and for them to keep them there. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how our players are locked in, and even when they're going through this little Golden State draft, we have security on some of our players. We have security there. We have built a team where they're not just one and dones. They're not just one and dones. And anybody talking about Stewie constantly signing one-year deals and this, that, and the third, yes, it makes perfect sense. A new CBA will be coming out, and I believe Stewie will be one of the highest paid WNBA players, deservedly so. So when that new CBA comes together and they start doing the right thing, Stewie will love to reap the benefits, and I think New York City is the best place to do that. I don't want to get sidetracked too much on the wrong stuff, but again, I felt like it was best that I had to put this out and put any commentary to rest that has to do with lies about JJ and Washington and this, that, and the third, and so on. So I implore you to provide the facts, provide the commentary, provide something that the agents or the players actually said that they were going to Washington, or that these deals fell into Jonathan Cobb's lap, because they didn't. The New York Liberty did an amazing job this offseason, last offseason, and this offseason as well. And we will see how it goes. This season is going to be a different kind of season, in the sense of we have the break, we have the All-Star game, we have the Olympic break, and then we got to get back into it. But what we want to do is see where the New York Liberty go. I think that they are in one of the best positions right now. And again, I can argue that the re-signing of JJ was arguably the best off-season move this off-season. I know everybody wants to look at the other plates, look at Seattle, and look at what these other guys are doing. JJ, by far, was the best signing this offseason, because you bring back that continuity, you bring back that dominance in the paint on both sides of the court, which was needed. And as far as perimeter defense, I do believe the New York Liberty are not done. Perimeter defense is looking good this year with some of the picks that they've made. Also, we do have one more roster spot, and we also do have to look forward to the draft. Some names that they're looking at in the draft are guards, and they are looking to help and beef up that perimeter defense. So I would hold your horses before putting out any false narrative on the New York Liberty and stuff like that. But again, that's just me. I did my own independent research. I found facts for you guys, and that information is also readily available to you. You can literally go see when Jonquel Jones signed, when Courtney Vandersloot signed, when Breonna Stewart signed. You can see all of that information. And as I said, my goal just moving forward is to help fans understand the salary cap, free agency, and just a little bit more about the things that go into making some of these moves. So shout out to the New York Liberty. Shout out to the front office for these calculated moves that they have been making. Fans, if you have any questions, any comments, please shoot them to me. I will get back to you as soon as possible. But again, this is New York Liberty Fan TV. That is all I have for you guys today. I will catch y'all soon. Again, we are less than 2 months away from the WNBA regular season. Let's go Liberty. Peace.